When I was younger, I thought strength meant how loud you could speak, how firmly you could push your ideas, or how quickly you could argue back when someone challenged you. I believed respect was something earned through dominance, through showing people I was never wrong. Back then, I didn't know what real strength looked like. My name is Ethan Parker, and it took me almost 4 decades of living, stumbling, hurting people unintentionally, and reflecting deeply before I understood one life-changing truth. True strength isn't loud. It isn't in pride or in proving yourself right. It's in restraint, patience, and in the calm words you choose when chaos surrounds you. And sometimes one sentence, just one, can transform how someone sees you forever. It all began on a Sunday morning. I was sitting at a small cafe in Portland, Oregon. It was the kind of place where the barista remembered your order if you came more than twice, and the windows fogged slightly from the warmth inside compared to the cool drizzle outside. I had been struggling with my own inner battles. My career was in transition after leaving a high-pressure job in finance. My marriage had ended 2 years prior, and though I told people I had moved on, deep down, I hadn't fully healed. I was sitting alone, writing in a journal, something I picked up after reading about stoicism and the power of reflection. That's when I overheard a young woman at the next table speaking to someone on the phone. She sounded upset, almost on the edge of tears. I tried not to listen, but her voice carried through the cafe. "I just don't understand why he doesn't see me," she said softly. "I give so much and still, I feel invisible. Maybe I'm just not enough." Her words pierced me, not because I knew her, but because I had once made a woman I loved feel that very same way. I had been too caught up in chasing success, in proving myself, that I forgot the simplest truth. People don't want to be conquered, they want to be seen. They want to be valued not for what they give, but for who they are. The young woman put her phone down, covering her face with her hands. After a moment, she wiped her tears quickly, trying to appear composed. Something inside me nudged me forward. Normally, I would never approach a stranger in such a vulnerable moment. But I remembered something I had read in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. I got up, walked slowly to her table, and asked gently, "Would you mind if I sit here for a moment?" She looked up, startled at first, then nodded slightly. I sat down across from her. "I couldn't help overhearing," I admitted. "I just wanted to tell you something I wish someone had told me years ago." She blinked, curious but cautious. I took a breath and said the words that had changed my own perspective. "You are already enough, exactly as you are. Nothing you give, nothing you prove, nothing you sacrifice will make you more worthy of love than you are right now." Her eyes widened, filling with tears again, but this time they didn't seem to come from despair. They came from release, like she had been holding her breath for years and finally exhaled. "No one's ever said that to me before," she whispered. I smiled gently. "It's the truth, though. And sometimes the truth is what we need most when we can't see it ourselves." That single sentence, "You are already enough," was something no woman could resist, not because it was a trick or a line, but because it was grounded in authenticity. It wasn't flattery, it wasn't manipulation, it wasn't said to gain anything in return. It was simply acknowledging her humanity and reminding her of her worth. We sat there for nearly an hour, talking. She told me her name was Claire. She was 26, an artist who worked at a local gallery. She had been dating someone who made her feel like she had to constantly earn his affection, and it was breaking her spirit. As she spoke, I listened, truly listened, not waiting to respond, not planning advice, just listening. That was another lesson Stoicism had taught me. Silence can be more powerful than the most eloquent words. By the time she left, she looked lighter. She thanked me and said, "You don't know it, but you might have just changed my life." I watched her walk out into the drizzle, her posture straighter than when she had walked in. And I realized something important. Words rooted in compassion and calmness carry the strength no argument or dominance ever could. Over the next weeks, I began applying this principle everywhere. When a colleague at a consulting job tried to undermine me in a meeting, instead of snapping back, I simply said, "I hear your perspective and I value it. Here's another way to look at it. The tension melted immediately. When my teenage daughter, Sophie, grew frustrated with me because I wouldn't let her attend a late-night party, instead of lecturing, I told her, "I understand you feel like I'm being unfair, and your feelings are valid. But my job is to protect you, and that's out of love, not control." For the first time in a long time, she didn't slam the door. She nodded slowly, even if reluctantly. The phrase, "you are enough," didn't just apply to strangers like Claire. It applied to my family, my colleagues, and even myself. It became my compass, reminding me to speak not from ego, but from truth and calmness. Months later, I ran into Claire again at the gallery where she worked. She was radiant, confident, and surrounded by people admiring her paintings. When she spotted me, she walked over with a huge smile. "Ethan," she said warmly, "I've been waiting to tell you this in person. That day in the cafe changed everything. I broke up with him. I started pouring my heart into my art. And now, for the first time, I actually feel free." I felt a surge of quiet pride, not in myself, but in her. All I had done was speak one truth. She had done the hard work of embracing it. "Claire," I said softly, "I didn't do that. You did. You found your own strength. I just reminded you it was already there." She nodded, tears glistening, but not falling this time. Still, I'll never forget it. And that's when I fully grasped what Stoicism had been trying to teach me all along. Life is not about controlling others, winning arguments, or demanding recognition. It's about self-mastery, about the calm strength to uplift rather than tear down, and about leaving people better than you found them. If you say to someone, man or woman, that they are enough, and you say it with sincerity, no heart will resist. Because deep down, that's what every person is yearning to believe. I walked out of that gallery into the evening air, the city lights glowing softly, and I felt at peace. For the first time in years, I wasn't chasing validation. I wasn't regretting the past or worrying about the future. I was living fully in the present, grounded in the truth that calm words carry the power to heal. That night, I opened my journal and wrote one sentence across the page. Strength is not in conquering others, but in reminding them they are already enough. And I knew, without a doubt, it was the lesson I was meant to live and pass on.